My name is Leland Glenna. I'm an associate professor of rural sociology in the Agricultural Economics and Rural Sociology department. The title is Community, Environment, and Development. And there are three options within the Community, Environment, and Development major. One is Community and Economic Development. Another is Environmental Economics and Policy. And a third is International Development. And the students, I think, are drawn to this major for a couple of reasons. One is they tend to have an attitude that they want to change the world. They want to make a difference in the world. And when you do a social science degree, you can often have that bigger picture perspective is taken into consideration in the classes. And I think the students are really drawn to that. I think they're also drawn to the fact that we have these options that I just explained. And even within those options, there's a lot of flexibility. Students can create specializations within those options, for example. So although they might do a social science degree, either sociology or economics in emphasis, they can also do a specialization, such as 3 courses or 4 courses, in a particular area in another department or another major, which allows them a specialization that perhaps, and I think more than perhaps, probably does help the student get a job after college. We've got several examples of kind of a diverse representation. We've had at least a couple of students go on to law school. And a couple of students who have gone on to graduate school. International development is one in particular that I'm thinking of, where a student has gone on to graduate school. Other areas are local development and social services. There's one administrative assistant for a housing development corporation in the Mid-Atlantic region. There's also an example of the USDA's Natural Resource Conservation Service. I know of at least one student who has gone to work for that organization. So the students really are quite broad in their opportunities. You know, we teach students, number one, how to read and write, which is an important skill that I think a lot of people take for granted. And the other is critical thinking skills. And with those tools, I think a student can do a lot of different occupations once they've left the university. And then another student who has recently got a job, and his title is environmental scientist. So he's got a C degree, but if my memory is correct, he did a specialization that allowed him to do particular kinds of water testing and so forth. So he's got a C degree, but a specialization in water testing that has earned him the title environmental scientist at a company that does work on correcting environmental damage. So students really have a lot of options once they leave with a seed major. We have quite a few students, I don't have a number off the top of my head, but a lot of students do dual majors or double majors. It's quite common for our students to do that. And the other is, yes, there are a number of international study abroad opportunities. First, we have a couple of classes in the program. One is every spring we take students for spring break either to Costa Rica or to Honduras to get a little bit of a study abroad experience. And a few years ago, I took students on a service learning project to Belize. We haven't done that again since, but those are some options. And we also have an opportunity to go to Kenya. And the way that's structured is we have, throughout the semester, they develop group projects that they then get to implement during a three-week trip to Kenya in May. So after classes are done, we then get on a plane and fly to Kenya. And so there are a number of opportunities for students to get involved. in international study abroad opportunities. In addition to just, we tend to be very encouraging and flexible in study abroad opportunities. So if a student wants to take advantage of another opportunity to study in Italy or Argentina, even though it's perhaps not in classes that would fit with the CED major, we would encourage them to still go ahead and take advantage of that opportunity, and then we might tailor that to a specialization because of that specialization that I discussed earlier, or that specialization option. So yeah, we do have quite a bit of study abroad opportunities. One of the reasons I'm in this job is because I really enjoy undergraduate education. I think there's a kind of wide-eyed optimism that undergraduate students often bring that is rather infectious and fun. And so I think being part of a major like SEED, that's what a lot of these students are involved in. You know, they are interested in getting jobs after college, of course, but they're also, they want to make the world better. And I think that's something that not all majors attract. And so that's an aspect of it. And I think this is you know, this field of study is something that drew me to it, so I care passionately about it. And the opportunity to share that with students who have similar interests is a great deal of fun.